It's easy to give up. It's very easy. But what's hard is going, yo, yesterday I got nothing from working as hard as I could. Nothing happened from that. I'm going to do the same thing again today, but I'm going to try to go harder. That's the hardest thing in the world.
You're not going to score on every shot. Doesn't mean you shouldn't take the shots. Doesn't mean you shouldn't try to hit the goal. But part of being able to continue to take shots is to have the strength of character to tolerate the fact that in that instance, you weren't on top.
Welcome to TAG 2025, a tradition unlike any other.
Be 100% you. You talk too fast, I can't understand what you're saying, you have subtitles. That's me. I don't know what to tell you. Like it or leave it. I'd be 100% me.
The thing I look for when building a high-performing team or an individual is the desire of the team, the desire of the individual, the hunger. You can't teach desire, the will, the drive.
Every weakness has a corresponding strength. The leaders taking, when there's strife on a team, how can we take that strife and make a stronger team?
Showing up, being present, being engaged, having conversations with people you may not know yet, because you never know where it could lead you.
When I look back on my journey, the things that have had the greatest value to me have never been for money. They've been events like this. They've been the races that I've done, the games that I've gone to watch my kids, the date nights with my wife. All the things that don't cost money are the things that matter the most to me.
What do you like to do? I sat back and what do I enjoy doing? And worked my way into meetings and whatever to try to find my niche.
Wow, we're here, TAG 2025. Thank you to the community for being here, being a part of it, bringing the best version of yourself, learning, enjoy it. You gotta have fun in life. You gotta enjoy who's around you. Let's actually learn, let's be curious. Let's bring people together. We are the new guard.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome.
Welcome. How we doing? I think we started a little late on purpose because I heard a lot of noise in the cars last night. I saw a lot of people at the, getting a little libation, so we figured, purposely we'll start a little tardy today, so. But good to see you guys. You guys look good. How many people here, it's their first year? Beautiful. Welcome, welcome. And how many people have been here before? Oh, welcome back. Welcome back. This is a beautiful event. First and foremost, I got to thank Eddie Perez, founder and CEO of EPM, and also Phil Mancuso, President and Chief Investment Officer of EPM, for investing in this event. It's a special event, and it's truly subsidized to make it reasonable for you guys to come out here and learn from each other. The main thing about this event is not about us, it's about you. And, this year, the theme is built differently. Built differently. What is built differently? Someone who's able to do things which others cannot. Someone who's talented, hardworking, unusual, right? And as I look around the crowd, I see that.
And a good-looking crowd, too, Kenny.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Look at these guys.
But we got some of the greatest people in the industry here. You got Dave Temko, Mike Cordes, Karina Carter, Darren Copeland. Look, you got, Dow and, Derek McGowan. There's a lot of opportunities for us to learn from each other. And we got some great celebrities here that are going to talk to you guys and give you information. And you got Jordan Peterson. Who else we got here? Janine Driver.
Janine Driver. And I hope she's here, not here, because she has a great presentation. And she talks about public speaking. And if she's here, I'm going to be nervous.
Oh. And we're going to get some laughs with Kevin Hart. All right, we're going to talk to Kevin Hart. David Portnoy. Get an opportunity to talk to David Portnoy today. And it's amazing what you're going to learn over the next couple of days as long as you keep an open mind, right? And at EPM, like I said, we want to continue to share our resources. It's what the vision of Eddie was, really open up to community, grow the community. He always says, a rising tide lifts all ships, and he stands behind it. So please take the time. I know that some of the people that I mentioned here, like the Darrens, the Mike Cordes, and all those guys, are always open books. They want to share with you how they got to where they are. So if you're interested, go over, have that conversation. We started off the day yesterday, with some great events. Another great individual, Christine Beckwith and Jason Frazier. Hell of a job yesterday, opening it up for us. And then we moved on to Vetivier with Chris and Nathan. And thank you, Lindsay Meyer, for a great opening event, having the happy hour. So far, it's been amazing. And it's going to continue to be amazing. We hope you're excited. I'm excited.
Oh, I'm fired up. Are we going to have some fun tonight, Kenny? Huh?
Listen,
We're going to have a lot of fun. All right, come on. You guys can do better than that. A lot of you went to bed at 9:30. Let's go.
Yeah. Who in here is built different? I want to see some hands. Who in here is built different? It's all about you, you know. And unfortunately, you know, last month, well, actually been 45 days now, you know, we lost someone, special individual. You know, his wife, and beautiful wife and his daughter sit here in the crowd today with us. A real general. Someone who was built differently. Someone who, you know, went from probably the best salesperson I ever met to one of the best leaders I ever met. And I was with him that whole journey. You know, a guy who, when he was first actually sales guys, you know, he said, you know, we're going to move on to a different company. And all of a sudden, he was the manager. And he said, Kenny, I didn't want to be the manager. They kind of made me the manager. It's kind of like tribal leadership, right? You kind of pick the leader that you want, the one who stands out to you. And that was Kevin. He went on, and then he said, you know what? I'm going to bring a group of guys to the next organization. They built a team that I was loyal to him. I said, Kevin, you know, we're getting older. I said, well, how long are you going to do this? He said, I'm going to do it forever. And I said, forever? Because we're going to ride together. He said, forever. I said, I'd like to retire one day. He goes, we're never going to retire. And he looked at me, and he had those glasses on like this.
Yeah, there.
You know. And he said, Kenny, listen, maybe I won't lead forever once I feel I gave my contribution back. Once I've taught all the AEs and shared with the mortgage community my knowledge and felt that I really filled the cup. He said, but then maybe I'll just go back and be an account executive. I said, what? He goes, yeah. He said, you know why? And he always had that edge to him, that confidence. He said, because I know that I can still hit 40 home runs and steal 40 bases. And you missed, brother, I know you could.
Kenny, do we have time for a quick story?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you guys heard that the Pope died, right? Yeah, very, very, very sad, very sad. But the good part is he meets St. Peter at the pearly gates, and St. Peter says, welcome, Your Holiness. And he takes him to an elevator, and he rides him up 100 floors in a beautiful, gleaming building to the penthouse. And he says, Holy Father, this is where you're going to spend eternity. What do you think? He says, St. Peter, I think that this is beautiful and amazing and incredible. And he steps out onto the balcony, and he looks out at his 180-degree ocean view, and he looks down, and St. Peter asks him, he says, Your Holiness, do you have any questions? He says, yeah, I got one question. That mansion on the beach right there? And St. Peter says, the 50,000 square foot mansion? Yeah. The one with the Bugatti, the Rolls Royce, and the Ferrari in front? Yeah, that one. He says, who's there? He says, oh, well, that's Kevin DeLory. He says, Kevin DeLory? Who's Kevin DeLory? Oh, Kevin DeLory was a legend in the mortgage business. He influenced hundreds and even thousands of salespeople during his career. He was responsible for putting hundreds of thousands of people in homes. And he says, well, I mean, he sounds like a wonderful person, but I'm the Pope. I was the leader of the largest church on planet Earth. So I get a penthouse, but Kevin DeLory gets the mansion? He says, well, Your Holiness, we got a lot of popes up here. We only have one Kevin DeLory.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. The one and only Kevin DeLory. Let's have some fun.
Here he is.
August 15th, 2023, that hospital right across the street, I was here on August 14th to present to a group like you, and I couldn't sleep that night. Had the worst pain I've ever had in my back. Thought maybe I had a hernia or something. I got up at 5:30. I said, I can't show up to talk to this group half-ass, closing my eyes, being tired. If I'm not going to give 100%, I'm not going to do it. But let me go to the hospital and see what happens. Crazy thing. We documented the day this all happened because I was here. I was here, and they happened to be videotaping Deb asking, where's Kevin this morning? And Eddie said, I can assure you he's not out getting drunk What do you call me, a little cookie, tough little cookie?
Welcome to the new faces, and for those that are returning, thank you for being here. Just want to give you an update. Part of the reason that Kevin is not here, unfortunately, he called me at 6:30 in the morning. He is in the hospital right down the street, but luckily, we do have some of the best hospitals in the whole South, so he's getting checked out. He may be back here later. If I know that tough little cookie, he'll be here. So I just don't want y'all to think he's off doing something else.
I go to the hospital, and they say to me, Mrs. DeLory, we have to operate right now. You have cancer. And I said, you got to be kidding me. I don't want cancer. I got a hernia from golfing. No, you don't. And I have to fly back home. There's a picture that I have that I took when Eddie said, we're going to fly you home, go down to the private airfield now, we're going to get you back to your wife and daughter. I have a 7-year-old daughter at the time, 6 years old at the time. I snapped a picture of myself because I want to remember what fear looked like. Because the minute I got on that plane, I said, I got to lean into this fear, I'm not going to win.
When I look back at that picture where I was on the plane on my way home, I knew it was real. It, to this day, gets me every time when I look at it, the fear in my face. I only had that fear for the 2.5-hour flight home. You know, the most touching moments of that I think back on my journey is the day that my wife picked me up from the airport and was in tears. And I asked her that one time, please, I can't have you emotional. I need you to be strong. Because if I'm going to be strong through this, I need to surround myself with people that are going to be strong. And she never cried again.
My wife never cried again since we got in the car. We go to the hospital. I took it as a challenge. The best things at life come from embracing fear and challenge. I go through 20 rounds of chemo. They tell me, November, Mr. DeLory, you're cancer-free. Best day ever. I have a cancer-free party. I got a bottle of Louis XIII, a box of cigars. Life is good. I never even got to open the bottle of Louis XIII. I had 2 cigars before they tell me I have cancer again. I have cancer again in January. They say I'm going to go in and operate. We're going to remove it. Go in and remove it. 70% chance. First time was 98% chance. Cancer-free again. Go 2 months later, you have the highest tumor markers we've ever seen. We're going to do a stem cell transplant, Mr. DeLory. And in that stem cell transplant, the first time I've ever been afraid. I was truly afraid. I didn't lean into the fear. First time I wasn't prepared. I go in after 3 days, all the tumors explode. I end up 30 days intubated, can't speak, can't talk. I got a tube in my mouth, tube in my throat. And I know this is over the top. I'm like, what the hell does this have to do with mortgages? Because this is what you guys deal with, to me, is mice nuts. They're so small you can't see them. So ask yourself, what do I do every day that I'm afraid to do? What challenges am I not willing to accept because I'm comfortable doing what I do? If I could go through all of that and embrace that fear, can you ask the next question to a broker that already said yes? Why not ask them what they're going to do with the $4 a month? Why not ask them another question? Because sometimes people get, well, I got what I wanted, and I'm afraid if I ask too many questions, they might undo what I have asked for. That's not true. You're going to get the best relationship with that person ever. Bad news is a dish best served hot. One thing that I tell everyone in the organization is bad news is a dish best served hot. I don't bullshit anyone. If your loan sucks, I'm going to tell you it sucks on day one.
I always say bad news is a dish best served hot because people don't always like to face the bad news. The faster I get that news out, the faster I can solve the problem. Other people would rather kick the can down the road and not face it because they want to take the road that's easier. But doing easy things has never leveled anyone up. It's facing the tough tasks at hand. The bad news and overcoming it is what will take you to the next level.
I think the most successful thing I've done in my career, and the reason I have people that always follow me, is because I am who I am. I do what I say I'm going to do.
Be you. Don't be who you think they want you to be, because the authentic you is unbeatable.
Right now in this market, you need to be you. Be all in. Be the best you. Life's too short to only give 50%. Come in every day and give 100%, and the results will be amazing.
Are you handsy?
Yeah, I'm very handsy.
Handsy?
Handsy McGee.
That was your college nickname?
No, that was
Little D.
Little D was me. Got Jamal Ransford collection. See that?
Yeah.
You don't see that? Huh? Don't pickpocket me now.
He works super hard, you know, honing his skills, getting better at his job day to day. And what is that?
And with that next level comes more opportunity, more growth. You know, if you set the bar here, son of a bitch. If you set the bar here, you know, there's a lot more. I don't even know where the I was going now, this guy. All right, so if you set the bar here, my name's Kevin. I am 51 years old. I think it's very easy to be open and honest when you have a gun in your hand.
So it really took people. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Do you think that the culture is as thick as my accent?
You have an accent?
What's wrong?
The chair, you're squeaking.
I can't help it. I wait too much.
Well, get some WD-40.
I need a new chair.
Okay. Kenny, get him a new chair.
The guy's a killer. Kevin DeLory is off the leash at EPM. He's ridiculous.
Those are very kind words from Frank.
There it is. 1, 2, 3. On 3, EPM.
I have 3 things that are the most important thing in the world to me. It's on my arm right here. It's in Italian. It's love, honor, and respect. Without these 3 things, if I don't honor these 3 things, I'm nothing. And if I honor them in every aspect of my life, it's my culture. It's what my core values are.
Kevin, you made such a huge impact on me personally and on EPM, and you're going to be greatly missed. And this is one in, I'm sure, a long line of tributes in honor of your memory.
Kevin DeLory. Wow, miss you, kiddo. Thank you for the legacy that you've left EPM. And to everybody out there, I know that this is always going to be a loss. However, it should never be forgotten. To always remember who Kevin DeLory is, was, and will always be in our hearts.
Kevin was my best friend. Best man in his wedding. Someone who I grew up in the business with, honestly. We started as account executives, grew into leadership, but over the past 20 plus years, our relationship continued to grow stronger and stronger to the point where we were family.
Kevin and I had a real special relationship. He didn't have just a relationship with me, he had a relationship with my father as well. And when my dad passed away, Kevin was there, and it really turned into, or blossomed into, something special.
I've grown so much since I met him. I bought a house, I had a baby. Wouldn't have been able to do almost any of that without him.
He had his own way of doing things, and he taught me that it's okay to carry a swagger with you. The way he drove me, showed up every day, made it a competition. He was going to outwork me, and he did it in an atmosphere where he just wanted everybody to be successful and wanted to push everybody to be their best.
He wanted us to succeed and push, and he always pushed us, and just nonstop every day to be better than yesterday. He was like a brother to all of us, his family. Wish he was here to thank him and give him a big hug, and just, we all miss him.
He was larger than life, and they needed him in a war in heaven that we didn't know about, because that's what he did. He won wars. Someone once told me that angels in the Bible don't look like angels. They look like warriors. And so that's what I envision. Other than, a quick round of golf and a cigar and an ice cold Tito's and club, I imagine that he's with the warriors up there. So go get him, Tyga. We'll be down here making you proud.
One thing that Kevin would want was for the industry to unite. Forget about the name of your company. Forget about the organization that you represent. What we do for the benefit of the whole was what he was about. And if we can get that done, I know looking down, he'd be one happy kid.
Okay. Awesome. I'm like naked without my glasses and a Tito's in my hand. No, I'm just kidding. I gotta tell you, I felt like a pro in that one. You sure about that? You know how many people are missing out on this great accent by not picking up the phone, by sending me an email?
I remember Eddie barging into my office and saying that, we got to go to Rhode Island. We walked in the door and there's a group of guys there, and I was expecting Kevin to be really larger than life. And then Kevin comes walking out behind him and starts talking. And I said to Eddie, I was like, we flew all the way up here for this little guy? And we sat here and ate dinner. Literally, it felt like I worked with him my entire life, but I had probably only known him for 10 minutes.
What I'm going to miss the most about Kevin is it's everything. He had so much personality, charisma, sense of humor, relationship builder. He just was so many things. He was such a great leader. He was demanding. He always wanted the best of everybody, including himself.
God put that in him. That's part of who he is. That's in his makeup. I see that in my daughter.
She was on the phone one day, and her little play phone going on, and we asked her what she's doing. She said, I'm being like Daddy. She's strong-willed. She's super confident. If she wants something, she'll figure out a way to get it. Hopefully, she never changes. Like I make my daughter say all the time, we're winners. We fight. We don't quit. It's the toughest fight I've ever been in my life. You want to know what mindset is when you lost all will to live. You can't speak, you can't walk, and you have to win. There's no bigger game.
So when these people get up here and say, I've been to the top of the mountain, I've been to the bottom. I don't want to be defined as cancer and Kevin. It doesn't define me. But my message is, look, when we think times are tough, someone else always has it tougher. Someone else has it tougher than me. Imagine the person that is going through this with a weak mental attitude or not believing in themselves. So sometimes you need those arms around you to say, you got this.
So today was an interesting day. I had a doctor's appointment, and I had to remind people I am not the disease. I'm still the same guy. So let's ask about me and less about the disease. But don't forget, my name's Kevin, not cancer.